Hello everyone, we're back for another round of some more fix-ups for games. I'm going to load up Sonic Arcade right now, and this is a very special game because not only did it not work a couple years ago, I was able to get it working by exploiting the thing, where the System 32 games did not even work in MAME 2003 Xtreme at all, but now they work. But the problem with this particular game is that not only did it not function properly, but it had controls that did not work right. And like some other Sega games such as eSWAT, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and of course Choplifter, you typically have to load alternative and or bootleg versions of these, respectively, to get them working properly. So in this case, look at this beautiful, glorious box artwork, done by Robin55. I mean, great job, done such many great, beautiful artworks. You cannot load Sonic Zip, you have to load Sonic P-Zip, like you have to load the bootlegs for Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, eSWAT, and Choplifter, again, respectively. We're going to load this with the current MAME 2003 Xtreme core, and you're going to see exactly how difficult this game is to play. Like Marble Madness, it uses kind of trackball scenario as far as the controls are concerned. You'll see what I mean in a moment here, because it shows a little demonstration, kind of like with the Neo Geo games where it shows the controls in action. Love the animation here, great game, Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog Arcade game, System 32 here. Look at this, you have to use a trackball and or mouse style configuration, but it is very invariably difficult to run, even if you have a mouse connected via USB host. So I'm going to try to show you exactly what it runs like, and then I'm going to play the game with a fix-up for the work-in-progress core release. So let's check this out for a moment here. Like many other System 32 games like Golden Axe, Death Adder, and of course Spider-Man Arcade, and so on, these are all fantastical games, well worth your time. But look at this, I'm running, I'm actually not running, I'm walking right now, at a brisk pace. It's much like the, before the redesign of Sonic in the latest movie, which by the way is a great movie. I was surprised at how well done it was. Ben Schwartz did a great job. James Marsden, it was a great job. I mean, everybody involved was a great job. And even like Jim Carrey's performance, which is tour de force, just like his old classic days, and Mask and Dumb and Dumber and so on. I love that he got away from the drama style for a while and was able to go back to his roots. Okay, look at this, I'm walking. This is not at all playable. And the problem is there's a part coming up that's absolutely, you can't do it at all. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to try to get to it real quick and just show you how difficult this is. I remember playing this years ago on a real PC and just struggling to play this game. And I'm so happy to inform you guys and gals, you're going to be able to play this with the next update nice and dandy. But look at this, you can't even do this part. You cannot run through this part. You have to be able to run in place to spin this. Like, kind of like a treadmill. But nope, you cannot. You get screwed there. But let's go into the Star Directory dummy. We're going to do the work in progress update right now. And I give personal tremendous thanks to Keith Fulkerson for helping me find out the name of the movie that I was talking about, the parody of Running Man, which is based off of a Richard Bachman novel. And yes, I love Richard Bachman books, which were Stephen King. Before he was Stephen King, he did a number of them called Rage, Long Walk, and of course, the known, more notable ones, which would be obviously Thinner, which is a great movie. I love Thinner. And then, of course, The Running Man. But we're going to do a work in progress update here. And Rage, unfortunately, went out of print, but it was a good book first time. I read it when I was actually in high school. I'd actually be in class, in English class, I'd read books ahead of the class, while everybody else was like on a second chapter. I'd be well beyond the book, and I'd be reading a Stephen King book, and I read Dinar Koontz books. Like I read a Dinar Koontz book called Strangers, which is fantastic, and surprisingly enough, there's another book written by him called Phantoms, which is pretty much parallel to the Stephen King book It, and ironically enough, it was written in 1986, that being Stephen King's It. But Phantoms was written in 1983, so which one was really parallel to the other? Interesting enough. But let's check this out. We're doing a work in progress update. We can even do 3-player mode activate. And by the way, the name of the movie that Keith Fulkerson was able to come up with was called Death Row Game Show. Very much like a Trauma-style movie, which I was a big fan of at the time. And Trey Parker and Matt Stone got their start with Trauma Films as well, with their Cannibal the Musical. Very fun musical comedy based on a real-life story. And in recent times, the guy that was pretty much came into question for his behavior and antics in the movie was, there's evidence saying that he didn't really do it, that he had to do it in defense. It's kind of an interesting story and documentaries about it now. But Cannibal the Musical, Orgasmo, I mean, so many of the movies. Basketball, I love all the Trey Parker and Matt Stone movies. And of course, American Teen Police Force. But look, I can actually run now. How awesome is this? I'll be able to get to that treadmill part. And yes, I need a little bit of practice getting used to this, but look at this. Bam, I can run through this part now. I couldn't before. And thinking of other like movies and TV shows, there have been a few other ones throughout times that I've not been able to remember. Like for those who are in my area would know about Big Chuck Low John, some of the movies that used to run there. There's a movie about animals that escape from a zoo, and there's even a part in the movie where like a cheetah was out running a car on the freeway, and it was very, very entertaining. I found out that it was actually an Italian movie called Day of the Animals. And some of these movies just take a little bit of just as far as going on to Google and trying to do a little bit of a synopsis of the plotline and such, a little snippets or such. But there's a few other movies that I've seen throughout time that have been difficult to find. Like ones like Don't Go to Sleep. That was a movie that I happened to see in 1982. Well, there's a little, a spoiler alert, there's like two sisters that are inside a vehicle, and a fire happens to the vehicle, and the parents have to make a decision, a split-second decision, to choose one of the daughters to rescue. And obviously the other one's kind of stuck in the seatbelt, and the one that dies in the fire ends up coming back to haunt the other daughter and convince her to basically kill people one by one. Ghost format style, like something from throwing like a toaster or a hairdryer right into the bathtub while the father's taking a bath and stuff like that. Just gets very, very interesting. It was actually a made-for-TV movie that I just happened to see in 1982, pretty much right before I saw the movie V. And that was such a great movie too. I love V. And there's another like horror series coming out soon with Robert Englund. And many of you who grew up at the same time as me would not even see Robert Englund as a bad individual. You'd see him as Willie from V, the friendly alien. But obviously everybody else saw him as Freddy Krueger. And I can never see him as Freddy Krueger. I'm stuck right there. Let's get past this part. There we go. Okay, let's get past this part. Not like the little instance in Conan the Barbarian for PS3, where once you get stuck in the final boss, you can actually get knocked out of your environment and not be able to hit the boss, or the boss can't hit you. It was a game-breaking bug which they never patched. But it was very, very interesting. It was a nice God of War style clone. And this game right here reminds me of some of the Maximum Carnage, Separation, Anxiety, Spider-Man Brawler games on Sega Genesis, and of course Super Nintendo, where you had the climbing stages. Very, very cool stuff. And of course the other System 32 game, Spider-Man the Arcade game, which has Venom in it as well. And it has a great scaling effect where it makes Venom super large. I'm looking very, very forward to the next Venom movie, which I hope comes out and has Carnage in it. I'm really hoping Carnage is the villain in it, but there's no proof or guarantee he'll be in the movie, but I'd love to see him in the movie. But another thing I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog wise, I'm a big fan of the Sonic games where you have the very, very fast-paced sections, and this game is no shortage of that. There are a few stages that are nice, fast-paced sections. Hopefully I'll be able to get to one of them before the demonstration is over. We're in the next stage, Landslide Zone. And I'm going to do 2-player mode activate here, which you can do in about any core game. I'm going to go to user 2 binds here. This is a 3-player mode activate game. Change my second controller to PlayStation Classic, my third controller to PlayStation Classic, so I'm essentially using all of my controllers on controller 1. And I need to go back and change them back to disabled and or my second controller when done. I'll show you what I mean when I'm done with this little demonstration. But we're doing landslide mode here, and hopefully we'll be getting to a speed zone style stage here. And many people would agree that Sonic 2 is probably the best Sonic of all, with Tails, of course. But I like Sonic and Knuckles, personally. Big, tremendous fan of the game. And I've actually found it very, very cool that Michael Jackson collaborated partially on Sonic the Hedgehog 3 at one time for the soundtrack. I wish that would have come to fruition. Oh, no! Oh, there we go. The trapeze act. Oh, no. Well, I failed on that little trapeze act. But very, very cool. This is awesome, awesome stuff here. Let's see if we can do the next trapeze without screwing up. Oh, no, we got this. Come on. There we go. You gotta get used to the sand zone. Very, very cool. We got a nice, fast-paced, frenetic, breakneck speed section here. And I gotta get used to the controls. This is so damn cool, and it's gonna take me a little practice to get used to this. I love the 3-core perspective graphics here. Love any game that uses this type of perspective. Especially the Gauntlet Legends and Gauntlet Dark Legacy. By the way, Gauntlet Dark Legacy will probably never be playable on the minis because it uses Vegas arcade hardware and it runs about probably 4 to 5 frames per second. Oh no, what's gonna happen here? Am I stuck? Okay, maybe I went the wrong way, that's why. Oh yeah, this is crazy. I gotta run around the fire. I didn't mean to go to the retro shortcut. We've all done that once or twice. Some people actually ask to disable the shortcut, so that can happen. The problem with that is, though, that if you do need it to fix something, you're not going to be able to do it. So it's nice to have, just in case. You just have to be careful. And that little atomizer type thing reminds me of the Tetsuo Man. There's an unlockable character in Godzilla Legends, which I happen to be a big fan of, on the Sega Dreamcast, along with, of course, the follow-up, Godzilla Generations. I mean, they're both great games. One's like a Panzer Dragoon style shmup game, and the other one is obviously more like a Rampage style game, but in pseudo 3D. Look at this awesomeness there. Kind of reminds me of the great reflections in the Ice Stage and Battletoads. But we're going to move on to another game now. Let's disable this 3-player mode activate, and we're going to move into some light gun games, which are other games that I just fixed up. And the interesting thing about the light gun games is that some of them, a couple years ago, not only were they absolutely unplayable, but they had sound issues, grating sound issues, which sounded like Freddy Krueger scraping his nails on a chalkboard. But they were fixed up along with the IRIM games, like In the Hunt and so on. But let's do a Nintendo First game right now. And I'm not going to show you the way it used to run, but I'll show you how the controls used to be. But I can link to a video where I used to run it, and it had troublesome sound as well as control issues. But we're going to load Duck Hunt Arcade right now. And many people have asked about playing this on, of course, Nintendo, of course, but you cannot do that currently. Hopefully someday we'll be able to use like a little peripheral, or we can run these on a real LED or LCD TV and such. But we're going to load it with the old release. So I'm going to show you exactly how the controls work for this particular game. But yes, Sonic the Hedgehog Arcade for the win. And look at this. This is absolutely unplayable. Too fast. But before, it used to have great sound effects as well. But you can see you're going to have tremendous difficulty hitting even a single duck here. This is bad. And the cool thing about the arcade version is you can actually shoot the dog in some bonus sequences, of which you cannot do in the Nintendo version. Look at this. This is unplayable. We're going to move on to another game here. The same game, but with the work in progress score. Okay, here we go. And again, the sound is completely fixed up for the Nintendo First games, IRIM games, etc. And then we're going to play this Duck Hunt again, but with the work in progress update. And there are 4 Nintendo First games, such as Hogan's Alley, Gumshoe, and of course Freedom Force, which is a great Sunsoft early effort. We're going to do a work in progress score right here. Duck Hunt is so much more playable than ever before. It no longer sounds like Freddy Krueger scratching a chalkboard. We're going to up the ante a little bit here, and we're going to go into cheats. We're going to do Infinity Mode, Ammo Activate. And we're going to go back and even go into Retro Settings to do some more Gensei Qua awesomeness. Go dirty hair style right now. Let's go into Input, Hotkey Binds, and check it out for yourself. We're going to actually add Slow Motion Toggle. We're going to do that onto R1. And we're going to go to Rewind, and we're going to set that to L1. For right now, when we're done, we're going to turn them back off. Then we're going to go back here and go to the quick menu, Rewind. And by the way, this is a very important thing to remember. I would recommend having Rewind off at all times unless you know it's going to work. Because if you try this on PlayStation 1 games, it's going to end up making them choppy and stuttery. And if you try running on SNES 9X over version 2005, you're going to have stuttery as well. And it also makes some arcade games crash on Final Burn Alpha as well as MAME. So only use it sparingly, especially if you know that it works. So keep it off in general. Okay, let's check it out. And we're going to do a little bit of a Max Payne mode activate. And we're doing 1-player mode activate because obviously if we want to do a real 2-player mode activate, we can get the real hardware, use the second controller, and do variable and nuisance for whomever controls the light gun. Look at it, slow motion, Max Payne mode activate. How sweet is that? I used to love playing slow motion on my original Nintendo with the NES Advantage and playing games such as Gradius and the light gun stages for BioBelly. Look at this, Max Payne mode activate. That is so damn sweet. Look at that, no ducks getting away now. And we can rewind if we miss one anyway. This is so cool. Love Max Payne mode activate. That is so sweet. And it works with all these light gun games. It's so cool. Bam. There we go. And by the way the technology works is the entire screen turns dark other than the ducks. That's how it's able to pick them up as far as registering the light gun. Let's try normal speed now. We got a couple more ducks. See, you can play normal speed too. We got 2 more ducks to go. We can rewind. We can slow motion, Max Payne mode activate. Oh no, that one got away, so I'm going to rewind it. Let's rewind this. That one, look at that, that's so cool. Look at that, there's what I'm talking about, that technology there. Where the screen's entirely dark except for the ducks. There we go. We got all the ducks taken care of, and we're going to play normal speed now, and we're going to do the clay shooting stage. How awesome is this? I mean, it's so damn cool. Dirty Harry mode activate. And it's very, very cool because if you actually watch the Dirty Harry movies, there's a nice little Easter egg where the end cutscene for any movie has him wearing a certain outfit, and whatever he's wearing at the end of the movie in the outfit is what he wears at the beginning of the next one. Look at that, I got it like 2 miles away. How sweet is that? But now we're going to go back in and disable this. But yes, you watch one Dirty Harry movie, I watch there are 5. And at the very, very end of the movie, he's wearing a certain type of clothes. And whatever he's wearing at the end of the movie is exactly what he's wearing in the beginning of the next movie. I find that continuity so awesome. Okay, we're going to go do hotkey binds. We're going to disable these. You can simply go into slow motion toggle, push start to revert it back to default. And we're going to go rewind, set it back to default. And I highly recommend trying to rewind on Robotron 2084. It has a really, really awesome bug, which is so sweet to see in action, in execution. Rewind, off. And then we're going to try another game. And I was talking about in the previous video about how some people in games look like they're from other games, as far as artwork is concerned. Like on the cover of MSX, Ikari Warriors, it looks like William Dafoe and Robert De Niro from Deer Hunter. But we're going to load this other MAME game right now, and it looks like the artwork for it looks like Rutger Hauer, in my opinion, right here. Verse Freedom Force. It looks like Rutger Hauer, almost straight out of Blade Runner, and he happens to be basically Brian Fury in the game Tekken as well. It's a little bit of an homage to that Blade Runner movie. But we're going to load Verse Freedom Force right now. And somebody else mentioned that Tom Jones basically looks like the announcer in Smash TV, so we're going to have to verify that as well. But we're going to load Verse Freedom Force. And I had such a eureka moment when I first watched Blade Runner for the first time several years ago and realized that, obviously, Tekken's Brian Fury is a true and blatant homage to that whole philosophy series. And I also love Blade Runner because it is a true sci-fi Frankenstein story, in essence. And that, along with, of course, should we say, the original Star Trek motion picture. Both of these movies were movies that escaped me for many, many years because my attention span was just limited as far as being able to watch a slow plotted movie. But once I was able to get into the nitty-gritty and give them both a chance, I found out they were just absolute masterpieces. Great slow burners. Let's check out Freedom Force, and I'm a big fan of many Sunsoft games such as Euphoria, Fester's Quest, Blaster Master, and so on. And these were great games to play with the NES Advantage, especially Fester's Quest with the Turbo Fire. We got this. This game is actually surprisingly violent for its time. I mean, way violent. We got this, guys and gals. My health is going down. Hopefully I'll be able to get a few more enemies out before I'm taken down. Gotta use some fast reaction time here, but much more reliable with better controls. So cool. I love my light gun games. So far, so good. Definitely a challenging game, though, and I love the game Gotcha as well, and especially the movie, live-action movie, Gotcha, which I need to go back to. I like Gotcha because you're actually able to use a controller as well as the light gun, and it was kind of like a nice multitasking scenario back then. Oh, that sucked. My health is going down. So is my ammo. I need more ammo, bad. I made it to the stage. Let's go in the cheats and see what we have here. Let's try doing Rambo style. We'll do Infinity Energy, Infinity Ammo, Infinity Errors, Infinity Creds. Look at this. Should have no problem with the game at all now. Look at that. Nothing. I can take anybody. I can wing people. So if you have, say, not in this game in particular, but if you're playing another game that's pretty hard, you can give yourself, like, infinity energy and stuff to let your kids learn, as a son of training wants to learn the game. I wouldn't recommend letting your young ones play this game just yet. They need a few years on them. Start them out with something like Super Mario Bros. First, or even Duck Hunt. Definitely not a game like this just yet. But very cool game, and we're going to turn the cheats back off. And, go back off, just so they're not on next time. And let's see what other game we have to try next. But since somebody actually suggested that Tom Jones is basically looking like the announcer in Smash TV, we're going to verify that right now. We're going to see if he looks like Tom Jones. And let's play that for a brief moment. Same thing, work in progress. Again, this is the game that I showcased, fixed up in my last video. But we're going to see if Tom Jones is in this game real quick. And beautiful, beautiful game. It's going to be in my 5,000 subscriber celebration because I'm going to be taking on a multitude of games and a variety of enemies and try to get past 5,000 total enemies throughout the course of the video. So if there are any games you'd like to see, I'm going to probably focus quite a bit on arcade games. But let's see if we run into Tom Jones in this game. Then we'll do one more game like usual. But yeah, both Freedom Force and Duck Hunt are much more playable than ever before. We got our twin stick shooter game going on here. We'll get through a little bit here and see if we can run into Tom Jones here. What's New Pussycat style. This actually has a code cheat as well. Let's see if we can do this cheat real quick. We're going to do enable cheats. And we're going to do infinity ammo, which should basically give us whatever weapon we have at any given time, infinity ammo for it. That'd make taking out the boss a lot easier. I should have done it before I got in game though. But yes, if we get like a cool shield or such weapon, we should be able to maintain it. We're just looking for Tom Jones in the game, though. There we go. Is that our shield? We need that. We need that. Come on. Now we should be able to keep that infinity now. That'd make fighting the last boss so much easier. We just gotta mainly worry about shrapnel and stuff. So damn cool. It's gonna be kind of hard to lose a life with this type of setup right now. But let's find Tom Jones here. And again, the movie that was a parody of Running Man was, of course, Death Row Game Show. Oh yeah, we get our spread gun circa Contra style here. So it's going to be very, very difficult to take me down now. We got our missiles there too, but I think I'm going to keep my strike gun for now. But let's run into Tom Jones here. Where is he? He should pop up on the screen anytime here. There he is. Tom Jones. Yes, it does look quite a bit like Tom Jones. And by the way, if you're playing a follow-up to this game, Total Cards, made by the same company, getting on top of a landmine would very much do like a mode 7 effect, kind of like with the enemies being thrown out in Turtles in Time for Super Nintendo and the arcade. Look, we got a landmine, I believe, covered up here. We're going to be careful with that. Watch out for this shrapnel and stuff. But yes, this game is much more playable, especially being able to keep my infinity ammo here. Awesome stuff here. I know there's a landmine here somewhere. There's one. We want to watch out for that landmine. But yes, we're going to move on to another fixed-up game here. And what else do we have in our repertoire here? We're going to do Midnight Resistance, another fantastical game. And I like playing the arcade versions as well as the home ports. And in the case of Midnight Resistance, it's actually a Mega Drive port as well. We're going to check it out, the arcade version first, with the work-in-progress core. It's been a while since I played this, but think of playing a game like Contra where you have to use L1 and R1 in order to actually rotate your gun. So it's a little bit challenging, but it's a fantastical game made by Data East. Love all Data East games. Great music as well. And we have John Rambo here, it looks like. Again, I'm using L1 and R1 to tilt my gun here, so it takes a little bit getting used to. I remember having this as one of my favorite games on the original Mega Drive. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the keys that we're getting might be basically currency in the game where you can buy weapons and such. Oh no, we got enemies behind me there. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I love this music. This dynamic music is so incredible. Oh no, we lost all the keys. I'm trying to remember. From the last time I played this, I remember there being currency in the game where you can use to buy weapons and such. We're going to verify that in a moment here. Oh no! There we go, and it's not like Contra where you can actually stay left all the way and have be out of harm's way. Here we can actually get hit by the fire of the tank. But yes, it reminds me quite a bit of Contra style here. Another game like this is Gun Force. Oh, not the keys again. We're going to continue here. Get some more keys to open doors, or actually currency to buy stuff. Love this music. This is so cool music. Oh no, we're losing the keys. Bam! Remember in games like Gauntlet when you lose all the keys and whoever's playing with you can actually pick up your loot? That's actually a good exploit to actually power up your character a lot faster. Do two-player with one person, keep killing off the second character, and pick up all the loot of player one, and you have double everything in no time. Nice exploit for quite a few games. Here we got some keys here, and I believe we should be able to buy some stuff here. We got full auto, three-way, fire, bullets, nitro. What do we have here? Let's try buying something. We'll do three-way for now. Yes, we can buy it with our keys. What else do we have? Bullets. Awesome. What is this? Oh yeah, that is awesome. Yes, you can use currency, kind of like in Call of Duty Zombie mode. And this music is so cool. I love this music. Data East, Capcom, Title, Konami, such great music in their games. No. And I keep forgetting I gotta rotate using the R and L here. But this gun should take this tank down in no time. That is so cool. Oh! This is sweet. We had to play this for a brief moment, the Mega Drive version, can't do a comparison, but yes, fixed up controls for the game, so sweet. This is a great, great game. We're going to move on to the Mega Drive version right now and do a little bit of a comparison between the arcade version and the Mega Drive version. It is same game name, but like Mercs, it is quite a bit different in essence. You'll see for yourself here. Midnight Resistance will run with Sega Genesis plus GX. Sega Genesis plus GX. Passed right by it. And obviously we're not going to be able to do the rotation controls quite the same way, and we're going to compare the difference there. And I believe if I remember correctly, since it's been a while, we can just actually point in the direction in this game. So you might actually just want to play the Mega Drive version if you don't have to worry about using L1 and R1, but you have a little bit of a detraction as far as the graphics not being quite as good as the arcade version. But yes, you can play just by tilting in the direction you want with the controller. Awesome stuff here. I still love the rotary style dial controls for the arcade though. I'm definitely going to be playing it more. But let's see what other kind of games we have to play here. Again, I'm using L1 and R1 to control the arcade version. It has way better graphics than this, but in this version, I can just tilt in the direction I want to play in. So it works out great both ways. Okay, dummy, me, let's see what else we have to play here. Do another arcade version game here that's fixed up with controls. What should we do? Oh, obviously I was talking about Missile Command being on the ground, and the game that's kind of like the reverse Missile Command is called Liberator. We're going to try that for a brief moment. Again, this is a game that already works. It's just an example of me going into Missile Command, being you on the ground, protected from space troops, and here you're actually in outer space protected from the ground troops. So it's like the reverse of Missile Command. I call it Reverse Missile Command. Let's check it out for a moment here. Here we go. It took me a hot minute to remember what this game was, but I was able to remember after a little bit of thinking. Yeah, we're basically protected from the ground, Missile Command style. Consider this like ammo coming from the ground, Missile Command style. How awesome is that? Very, very interesting game, though. There we go. And the Missile Command troops on the ground shooting up at me. That is so awesome. It's like reverse Missile Command. I love it. So if you love Missile Command, this is such a beautiful game to play in reverse. Oh no! And this is actually on the Atari collection that I got on PS4. But yes, here we have Reverse Missile Command, aka Liberator. So damn cool, and I love this game. So definitely check out Missile Command as well as this. And if the game is too hard, try out Missile Command on Atari 2600, which is far easier. But yes, Liberator is Reverse Missile Command. Let's see what other games we have to play real quick. There might be a few that I have not gotten into that are fixed up yet. What do we have here? Let's do this game right here. I do not believe I played this one yet. Search and Rescue. We'll try this for a brief moment. And this should be another game that's fixed up with the L1 and R1 controls. And we'll do one more game, and then we'll call it quits, and then I'll do some more updated. I'm going to try to get Outrunner stuff fixed up as well, because somebody told me they were having trouble braking in the game. But typically when I play a racing game, I don't use the brakes. I just ease off of the accelerator and do drift style when I play my games. So this should be using the rotation controls as well with L1, R1. But yes, definitely check out Missile Command and Liberator, and obviously Sonic the Hedgehog Arcade next time I do the update. Okay, let's check it out. Insert some coins and play this game here. Very, very cool introduction sequence here. Nobody knows. Yep, rotation controls as well. Awesome. Oh, wow, this game is violent. I did not expect this type of violence. This is gruesome. Enemies just splattered everywhere. It's like Alien Syndrome to the next level. This is so worth it. Search and rescue my ass. We're literally just decimating everybody. Demeciating everybody for those of you who get the reference. This is great. This is a nice variable gem here. I have to say, I have not ever really played this game. And this might be part of the SNK collection that I got on PS4. I'm going to have to check because I love that game. And some of the games on there, you actually do an attract mode. And you can actually push start anytime and start in the game. But yes, Search and Rescue. This is a masterpiece already. Loving it all the way here. I did not expect this game to be so veritably violent. So it's such a great, great end to this video. I mean, violence to the next level, without a doubt. Like, fatality! But yeah, Search and Rescue is such an interesting game here. We're going to try one more game after this. I'm considering this like an answer to Sega's Alien Syndrome. So cool. I have to say, there are not a single SNK game that I do not enjoy. I love each and every one of them. And now I like Search and Rescue. Such an interesting game with its violence there. You might notice that when you play a lot of games with Superman or other superheroes, that they kind of limit how many human opponents you're fighting as. They have more robotic type enemies like the ones we're fighting here. But yes, Search and Rescue, great game, and almost a top-up fan to the video, but we're going to pick one other game here. Actually, I'm going to do an entirely different game here. There's a game that people have been asking about in the past here, called Night Raid. This is actually comprised of team members who went on to be in Cave and other companies that kind of went on to the Escalation subdivision branching off. We're going to do this with the PlayStation 1 core. We're going to run this with not PUA, we're going to run this with the Rearm Neon. This game's quite interesting because there's a double-edged sword as far as should I say, the Dynamic Recompiler is concerned. It is actually needed to play the games properly, but watch what happens here in the case of Night Raid here. It is Takumi, again, some of the people from this went on to make games for Cave and such. I was starting the game per normal here. This is actually an arcade game as well. We're doing the arcade mode. But you're going to see something quite interesting here. Kind of like when I was playing Duck Hunt earlier, where you weren't able to actually see the graphics here. You're going to see missing graphics right now. Check it out. It's playing fine, but there are no graphics in the background. They're all missing. But I'm going to show you a magic trick here. In some of the games that have graphical glitches, you can do this on. Check it out. Now, I'm going to try to do what I can to get this game running full speed with graphics, but for right now, you go into Core Options, Quick Menu Options. We're going to go to Dynamic Recompiler on the options here. You'll see for yourself. And we're actually going to disable it. And watch what happens when I disable it. Again, it's going to slow the game down, but it's going to make it more accurate. The graphics are back! How sweet is that? So you can play with graphics and slower. I'm going to do what I can to get this fixed up, but I always consider this a very, very cool thing to really showcase how Dynamic Recompiler can work for good as well as bad. And by the way, with Dynamic Recompiler off, some of them games like Duck Hunt, not Duck Hunt, Donald Duck and such that crash will no longer crash. I'm doing what I can as far as memory constraints are concerned to get some of these games running better. But yes, you can run it like this with normal graphics and pure accuracy with Dynamic Recompiler off. And then, of course, you can turn it back on. And I'm going to show you real quick. Quick menu, options. We're going to turn it back on. And the game will run full speed, mode activate. And obviously, with Dynamic Recompiler on, you're going to be missing the graphics. So it's kind of a tough choice. Do you want to have the full graphics and slower speed, or do you want to have missing graphics and the full speed and this great guitar-oriented soundtrack? But great, great game, and I'm going to be enjoying it both ways and mixing it up a bit.